Kurinji Senior Secondary School, CBSE, Namakkal.
Successful result producing school in state every year.
Administered by the Board of Directors with over 35 years of experience in the teaching field.
Special attention on art, craft, music, dance, silambam, yoga, skating and karate.
Focus on Hindi Sabha and Spell Bee Olympiad exams.
Smart class for effective and innovative learning and well-furnished library.
Solitary importance on sports and games in state and national level.
WhatsApp facilities to know activities of students and school inside the campus.
Free bus for LKG to 8th standard.
Free, hygienic and nutritious food.
NEET, JEE, IIT coaching experts from Rajasthan and Andhra Pradesh along with our effective teachers.
Admission registration for classes LKG to +2.
Kurinji Educational Institution, Kavetipatti, Namakkal. Admission in progress. CBSE, KG to 12, contact 9025895176. Metric 6 to 12, contact 9344567484. For online admission, log on to www.kurinjischoolnkl.in.
Hi students, in this video we are going to discuss limitations of crystal field theory. In my last class I clearly explained about crystal field theory for octahedral complexes and tetrahedral complexes, and moreover how to calculate crystal field stabilization energy after splitting of the d orbital approaching to the central metal atom. You know that very well. Actually central metal atom without approaching d orbital has same energy level. After approaching the ligands to the central metal atom, the central metal atom energy is the loses. It's nothing but degeneracy is the loses. So that's concept already clearly explained in my previous session. Now in this session, some limitations of crystal field theory. You know, VBT also successfully explained about the formation of the coordination compounds, and similarly this crystal field theory also very clearly to be explained about the formation of the coordination compound, but it has some limitation. What kind of the limitations are there in CFT? Now we are going to start. Sinana, first point is crystal field theory assumes that metal ligand interaction is purely electrostatic. According to crystal field theory, or crystal field theory assumes metal in between of the central metal atom and ligand, the interaction is purely electrostatic or Coulomb interaction. Hence, the ligand to central metal atom purely electrostatic irkana, the ionic bonds are formed in between of the ligands to central metal atom. This is the basic assumption of the CFT. So once again see, crystal field theory assumes that metal and ligand interaction is purely electrostatic. This assumption cannot be said to be very realistic. So it's not a clearly realistic. So it's this assumption is not proper manner. It's not explained for how the ligands whenever approaching to the central metal atom, the electrostatic forces are present in between of the ligands to central metal atom, but this assumption is not clear, that it's not a realistic. So that is the first limitations of the CFT. First limitations of the CFT. Now the second point is okay, seen on a second point, the theory takes into account only the d orbital of central metal atom or ion, and their splitting is studied. The other orbital, example s and p orbital of central metal atom, are not taken into the account. This is the most important drawback in the CFT. According to CFT theory, only the splitting is possible in the central metal atom of the d orbital. What about s orbital and p orbital? He cannot explain properly. This is another important, because not only d orbital contain the energy level, even s orbital and p orbital also made up of some energy. But why s orbital, p orbital are not involved in the whenever splitting splitting of the orbitals. Whenever ligands are approaching to the central metal atom, why d orbitals only to splitting? Why d orbital of the central metal atom and ligands electrostatic forces is there? What about the s orbital and p orbital? He cannot explain any information regarding to the s and p orbital splitting point of view, but it's only explain the d orbital splitting. Whenever ligands are approaching to the central metal atom, from the central metal atom d orbital and ligands electrons are in between, romba repulsion forces are there, hence these repulsion forces are creating more splitting in d orbital. What about the s orbital, p orbital? It's not explained. That's the second point, synonym. The theory takes into account only the d orbital of central metal atom or ion, and their splitting is studied. The other orbital, example s and p orbital of the central metal atom, are not taken into the account. This is the second important limitation in the CFT. Next, third one, the theory is unable to explain why does a certain ligand causes a large splitting while the other a small. Example, the theory has no explanation why water is a stronger ligand than the OH minus. So this is also another important. You know that different type of the ligands are there. Weak ligands are there, strong ligands are there, negative ligands are there, neutral ligands are there, positive ligands are there. So whenever different type of the ligands are approaching to the central metal atom, the splitting of the d orbital of the central metal atom is not similar. So ligand to ligand, the splitting is differ. What is the reason? This theory is unable to explain this concept. That is the most important, Anna. Whenever different type of the ligands are approaching to the central metal atom, the splitting is similar. It's not a huge and it's not a low, but this information is not clearly explained. For example, water is a stronger ligand than OH minus. So water is a neutral ligand. Whenever neutral ligand approaching to the central metal atom, the splitting is maximum. But OH, hydroxo is approaching to the central metal atom, the splitting is very low. So this kind of the information is also not explained the CFT it's properly. So this is a third important drawback in the CFT. Okay. So what is the third important drawback, Nana? Whenever different type of the ligands are approaching to the central metal atom, the splitting is not similar. So the splitting of the d orbital is depending on the approaching of the ligands. This information is not explained properly. Next, fourth one. This theory rules out the possibility of any pi bonding in complexes. This is a serious drawback of the theory because pi bonding is not found to be existed in the complexes. So that is a serious drawback. It's nothing but the huge drawback in the CFT. So this theory rules out, completely rules out the possibility of any pi bond in complexes. If any one of the pi bond is there, how that pi bonds are not involved in the formation of the coordination compound? Formation of the coordination compound, he didn't explain properly. So that is the serious drawback in the CFT. The serious drawback in the CFT. It means according to the CFT theory or crystal field theory, there is no any importance of the pi bonding electron in the formation of the complexes, not only octahedral manner, even in the tetrahedral manner also. These are the most important serious drawback in this CFT. Okay, ma? And fifth point is, the theory does not give any weightage to the orbital of the ligands. Therefore, all properties related to ligand, orbital and their interactions with metal orbital remaining unexplained. So here important point is, this theory can't explain the weightage of the orbital, d orbital weightage, s orbital weightage, p orbital weightage in a ligands. So you can't explain it's not explained clearly. So these are the 5 major limitations in CFT. What is the 5 major limitations, my dear students? The first one is the crystal field theory assumes that metal ligands interaction is a purely electrostatic, but this assumption cannot be said to be very realistic. Okay na? So second one is this theory takes into account only the d orbital splitting. It's not explain the splitting of s orbital and p orbital in central metal atom. This is the second drawback. And third drawback is the theory unable to explain why does a certain ligands causes the large splitting while the other is small. Example, the theory has no explanation. Water is a stronger ligand than OH. And fourth important one is this theory rules out the possibility of any pi bonding in the complexes. This is a major drawback. So in the formation of the coordination compounds or coordination complexes, pi electrons is not interfere, it's not involved. That's why CFT theory is not clearly to be explained. And last and final drawback is the theory does not give any weightage to the orbital of the ligands. Therefore, all properties related to the ligands orbital and their interactions with metal orbital remain unexplained. These are the major limitations of the CFT. Okay, Nana. Now, see here. Color of the coordination compound. Color of the coordination compounds. My dear student, you know, coordination compounds can exist at different type of the colors. Already I clearly teached in my previous session in the lesson of D and F block element. The color behavior is depending on the unpaired electron present in the central metal atom. So for example, even in coordination compounds or coordination complexes, generally central metal atom act as a D block element. It's nothing but transitional element. If any one of the compound central metal atom contains unpaired electron, their behavior color property. And not only this one, unpaired electrons are decided following property. For example, any one of the central metal atom contains unpaired electron to behave paramagnetic, and unpaired electrons present in is a color property and catalytic properties, and these all type of the properties are easily to explain whenever the central metal atom containing the unpaired electron. So now CFT theory is also most important, Nana. CFT, now color of the coordination compound. See, Nana, color of the coordination compounds, CFT successfully explained the color of the coordination compound. This is a most important thing. CFT theory, it's very clearly to be explained the color of the coordination compound. So see here, the complementary colors is generated from wavelength leftover. Reason for the color in the complex is due to DD transition. You know that very well, DD transition. For example, seen in this picture, whenever ligands are approaching to the central metal atom, from the central metal atom d orbital, in between ligands to central metal atom, more repulsion forces are there. These repulsion forces leads to be splitting of the d orbital into 2 levels. Number one is a T2G level. It's nothing but triple 2 generation level and EG level. Okay. Ipo NiH T2G. Now one electron jump from the T2G level to EG level, immediately it's come back from the higher energy level to the lower energy level. Ipo one electron de-excitation from higher energy level to the lower energy level, energy is emitted. How much amount of the energy are received in the ground state? After receiving this energy, the electrons are jumped from the ground energy level to excited state level. After de-excitation means that electrons are not stable in long time in the higher energy level. Immediately the electrons return back from the higher energy level to the lower energy level. Here energy is emitted. The emitted energy, it's converted into as a wave. the number of the waves are together to form one light. It's nothing but any one of the color light. Okay, Nana? This is the light formation, and CFT theory very clearly explain the formation of the color compounds in the coordination compound. How to form the color, Nana? Actually, after splitting of the d orbital from the central metal atom, it's splitting into two groups. Number one, T2G group, number two, EG group. If any one of the electron jumps from the T2G level to the EG level after received the energy, and the electrons is not stable long time in the EG level, immediately what happened? The electrons are returned back to the T2G level. In the return back time, the electrons are emitted the energy. The emitted energy is converted into as a wave. The number of the waves are to form one spectrum. That spectrum is nothing but colorful spectrum. So my dear students, you know that very well. White color, the combination of the 7 color, VIBGYR, violet, indigo, blue, like that colors are there. Because these are all colors how to form whenever the electrons are coming from the higher energy level to the lower energy level, electrons are emitted the energy. That emitted energy is converted into as a wave. The group of the waves is called or spectrum. This spectrum is represented as a color light. Okay, now this is the pattern actually. So this is nothing but DD transition. So DD transition means the electron energy is a transition in between of the two d orbital, like T2G level and EG level. Okay, ma? So this information very clearly explain the CFT theory. So what information? The colorful compounds of coordination compound very clearly to be explained. How to form coordination compounds or colors based on the DD transition. DD transition means from the ground state of the electron, after receiving the energy, it's immediately jumped from ground energy level to the higher energy level. In the higher energy level, the electron is not stable in long time. Immediately they are returned back to the ground energy level. Hence the energy is emitted. This emitted energy converted into the wave. This wavelength is calculated by lambda. So the number of the wavelength or number of the waves are together to form one spectrum. This is created as a light, colorful light and light. Okay, Nana? So now see this picture. Ground energy level, jump the electron, here excited state. So this is a complementary colors wheel, complementary color wheel, Nana. Complementary color wheel, this one. Now see here, some examples are there regarding to the color point of view. Coordination entity, second column, wavelength of light, third one, color of the light absorbed and color of the coordination entity. So here, or coordination compound, what is the wavelength of coordination compound? Here not coordination compound, wavelength. In this compound, central metal atom, electrons are de-excitation from the higher energy level to lower energy level. Energy is emitted. That emitted energy is creating as a wave. That wavelength. Okay. Next, third column, color of the light absorbed. So what kind of the color is absorbed in the coordination compound, and what kind of the color is existed? Absorbed color and existed color. Okay, Nana? Now here there are 6 examples are there. See carefully here. Pentaamine chlorocobalt 2. Pentaamine chlorocobalt 2. The wavelength in the central metal atom cobalt wavelength is 535 nanometer. 535 nanometer. Color of the light absorbed, yellow color. Here yellow color is absorbed, and color of the coordination entity, this entire the compound color is a violet color. Okay, ma? So based on the wavelength to decided the color of the compound. So now once again, pentaamine chlorocobalt 2, wavelength is 535, color of the light absorbed yellow color, and color of the coordination entity is the white. The second example, see here, aqua cinema. pentamine aqua cobalt 3. Pentamine aqua cobalt 3, that wavelength is a 500 nanometer and absorbed color is a blue green color and entity color coordination compound, this coordination compound color is a red color. This coordination compound color is a red color. Now third example, hexaamine cobalt 3. Hexaamine cobalt 3, wavelength 475 nanometers and blue color and yellow orange. Blue color means color of the light absorbed blue color and color of the coordination entity is a yellow orange. Next one more one, tricyano 310 ultraviolet color and pale yellow color, ultraviolet color and pale yellow color. Okay, and fifth example, tetra aqua cobalt 2. Tetra aqua cobalt 2, 600 nanometer, actual observed color is a red color and color of the coordination compound blue color. And last and final compound is hexa aqua titanium 3, it's 498 nanometer and blue green color and purple. These are the color important coordination compound, color of the coordination compound. Okay, Nana? Now important statement is there, see here, the influence of the ligand on the color of a complexes may be illustrated by considering the nickel hexa aqua nickelate 2 plus complexes with forms when nickelate 2 chloride is dissolved in the water. So these are the color of the coordination compound. Once again, my dear student, CFT crystal field theory very successfully explained the color of the coordination compound, but it has some limitation. Already very clearly explained that limitation, but it's very clearly to be explained the color of the coordination compound. Okay, ma? So I successfully completed in my last class in this session entire the information regarding to the CFT crystal field theory. In my next class I will go to discuss another important part, that is nothing but color of the some gemstones, color of the some gemstones and importance of coordination compound, uses of coordination compounds and organometallic compounds also. Organometallic compound. This complete information will teach in my next class. Okay, ma?